Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to Unwind Flow Yoga. Amanda here for your level 3 spine flow. For today's class, we're going to incorporate everything that we've been working on in our level 1 and 2 classes and bring it into a standing flow sequence. So when you're ready, join me lying down for the mat for a core warm-up. So lying down on the floor, just keeping the knees bent for now, taking the hands wherever is comfortable. If you want to get a little bit more tuned into our spine focus here, you can rest the hands gently on the abdomen, wherever makes sense for you, and just rest the shoulders back down on the floor. Feel the back body soften into the ground and the mat rise up to support you. Notice the breath here, move the breath in and out through the nose. Take a moment to check in, notice the pace of your own breath. As we'll be moving through our standing flow sequence today, moving on our breath will be really essential to our practice. So just noticing the pace of your breath. Notice the breath moving like a wave. And then if the hands are rested on the body here, or just imagining this in your mind, connecting into that 360-degree awareness of the core. So our core wrapping around our entire body. And then getting a little bit more specific here, noticing the spine in relationship to our foundation of our core. Noticing that 360 degrees of our spine as well. So areas that are making contact with the mat, the sides of our spine, and even that front area of our spine that faces towards the inside of the body. Notice how this structure is all connected. See if you can maintain that awareness as you start to wiggle fingers and toes. And then from there, hug the knees in towards the chest. Give a little sway side to side. Feel the weight transfer on either side of the sacrum, sides of the spine. And then release the legs here. Stack the knees over the hips, shins parallel to the floor, and then arms are reaching out towards the ceiling. So coming into those toe taps, but adding in the arms. Arms are optional, so feel free to leave those out if it makes more sense for you. Let's move on our breath here. So take a breath in all together. As we exhale, left toes tap the mat, right arm reaches back behind you. Inhale to draw yourself back up through center. Opposite side, right toes tap, left arm back behind you. Continue to move here, your own cycle of your breath, going as slow or as quickly as you would like. Remembering slower is often better for these movements because we can really articulate each little millimeter movement. We can feel our strength. Take one more each side. And then on an exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Take a moment to let that settle in the body, remembering that sensation of hugging in around the waist. And then from here, we'll move into downward facing dog. So however you'd like to get there, you can roll over onto one side or hands behind the hamstrings, rock up, and then come onto hands and knees. As you're ready, downward facing dog. Let's tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, and then walk out your downward facing dog. So bend the knees gently side to side, drop the heels. Let's lengthen out through the backs of the legs. And then once the legs feel integrated, just work your way into your downward dog shape today, whatever that looks like, keeping a soft bend in the knees to help elongate the spine. Really rooting the hands into the ground, feeling like you're pressing through your mat, getting even more length in the spine. Let's keep all that length as we start to bring it into a flow. So take a breath in and exhale. Inhale, rock forward, plank pose. And then exhale, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Try that 2 more times. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, come forward. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. Pause there for a full cycle of your breath. On an inhale, slowly walk the feet up towards the hands. Come towards a forward fold. Bend in the knees here. Soften the head all the way down. From here, hands to the shins. Start to straighten the legs as you straighten the spine forward. Lift halfway. Exhale, release, fold forward. As you inhale, let's rise all the way up. Arms rise. Press the palms together. Take the hands to your heart. Pause there. From your Tadasana pose, notice that nice long spine here. Natural curve here. We're not forcing anything. And then beginning our flow here. So looking down at the feet, making sure they're about hip distance apart. And we feel connected to the soles of our feet. So noticing that as our foundation. Take your inhale, reach both arms up. And then as we exhale, coming into chair pose. So sinking the hips back behind you. Weight is in the heels. And we keep the length of our spine reaching up. Think about that core awareness. So cinch in around the waist, front ribs in. Take another breath in. Exhale, release, fold forward. Take your inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, hands to floor. Take the right foot, step it back behind you, right knee down. From here, keep the hands down. Squeeze the hips together, squeeze the left heel towards the right knee, and then use that strength to lift the torso away from the front thigh. Arms rise up, low lunge. Take a breath in. Exhale. Take a breath in, and then once again, cinch in around the waist, front ribs hug in. And then exhale, hands to floor. Lift that back knee up, and then step back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips. As you inhale, rock forward, plank pose. And this first one, let's go knees down, bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes, lift the shoulders onto the back body, rise up for your cobra pose. Just seeing how the back is doing, we'll adjust as we go. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. All right, coming into our flow, you might remember this from spine 2 if you did that class. We'll take our inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, left foot steps in between the hands, this time crescent lunge. Squeeze the outer hips together, squeeze the feet together, lift the fingertips off the floor, and then lift the belly away from that front thigh, crescent lunge. Soft bend in the back knee. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold halfway forward here, arms sweep by the sides, spine is long. Inhale, come back through center, soft bend in that back knee. Take another breath in. Exhale, we tap that back knee down onto the ground. And then all the strength in that front leg. Inhale, rise back up, crescent lunge. Exhale, flow halfway forward. Arms are strong back behind you, spine long. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands towards the heart, and then step forward, chair pose. Feet hip distance apart, knees bend, hips low. And then inhale, rise all the way back up, straighten. Exhale, touch the palms, chair pose. Take another breath in. Exhale, release. Second side, drop the head. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold hands to floor. Left foot steps back behind you this time. Lower the knee down. Squeeze outer hips. Squeeze that right heel and left knee towards each other. Get light in the fingertips to lift yourself all the way up. Low lunge. Testing out your low lunge. Notice how low you would like to sink in the hips today. I'd like to stay up a little bit higher for these more alignment-based flows. Make sure those front ribs are hugged in, and then take another breath. Exhale, hands to floor. Lift the back knee up, step back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, rock forward, plank pose. This time, knees lifted or lowered, your choice. Lower all the way down onto the floor. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet down. Let's press the fronts of our thighs into the floor this time, finding more length in our lower spine, and then rise up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes under, Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pause. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, right foot steps in between the hands. Crescent pose, take it slow. Squeeze outer hips. Squeeze the front heel and the back toes together. Lighten up through the fingertips. Use the strength of the legs to rise all the way up. Belly lifts away from the thigh as you find crescent pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, we flow halfway forward, arms strong behind you. Inhale, slowly rise back up through center. Exhale, back knee taps the floor. Use the strength of that front leg to rise you all the way back up. Exhale, flow forward, spine long. Take the hands towards the heart, chair pose. Step the left foot beside the right. Sink the hips low. And then inhale to rise, lift all the way up. Exhale, release the hands by the sides. Pause there. Take a moment to reset. Maybe roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Notice any subtle changes you might feel in the body right now. A little bit more activation in the legs. Inhale, rise the arms up. This time we'll take a side bend here. So take the right arm, grab onto the left forearm, reach over to the right side of your mat. So lengthen out through the left side body, stay anchored down through the feet. Inhale, rise back up through center. Exhale, second side, left hand grabs right forearm, reach over to your left. Inhale, rise back up through center, touch the palms, maybe look up. And then separate the palms here as we sink back into that chair pose. Take another breath in. Exhale, release, fold forward. As you inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back behind you. Lower the back knee down. Rise the arms up, low lunge. From here, we'll come into a twist. So take another breath in. Exhale, right hand finds the floor. Left arm reaches up. So this time, sink the hips down, open the chest. Notice this twist in the spine here. Take another breath in. Exhale, left hand to floor. Lift the back knee up, step back, plank pose. From here, we'll flow. So option to do either of the two we've done so far. We're coming into full chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, rock forward, plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows lower halfway. Untuck the toes, lift the chest up. Upward facing dog. Keep the length of the lower spine. If you feel like it's crunchy, cobra is your friend today. As you inhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adding on to our flow. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps in between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge. Take your time to find it. Take another breath in. Exhale, fold halfway forward, sweep the arms. Inhale, slowly rise, lift back up. Exhale, that back knee lowers down. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, fold forward once again. And then from here, take the hands towards the heart. Lift up into warrior three. So pick that back foot up. Find the length in your spine as you rise up into that warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. And then on an exhale, back into crescent lunge. Feel the strength in that front leg. Lift the arms up. Take another breath in and reconnect to that foundation here. We're going to play with it a little bit more. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands come through heart center. And then this time we're going to twist, but we're not going to land it. We're just twisting our upper body here. So take a breath in. Exhale, right elbow is going to reach over to the left side of your mat. Keep the spine long. Keep pressing off the back toes as you lengthen the chest forward. Stay here. Notice the strength in your left leg. And then from here, we're going to turn this into reverse warrior. So windmill the arms up and overhead, plant the back heel down, and then left arm reaches up and overhead, right hand slides down the right leg. Reconnect to that front leg. Can you bend a little bit more? And then notice the spine here. Connect to that side bending sensation. Keep the length in the left side, straighten left leg, and then reach the left fingertips forward, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Feel free to stay up a little bit higher for this variation. So really thinking about the length of our spine, hips reaching towards the back wall, chest reaching forward. Inhale, rise back up, find warrior two. And then exhale, hands to floor. Plant the hands, sweep the left leg up and back behind you. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Take another breath in. Exhale, left foot's gonna step in between the hands, and then let's rise up into warrior three. So take your time. Arms in this airplane shape, so arms are strong behind you. The left leg is supporting us, so let's think about the right leg. Can we flex the right foot, dialing the toes down towards the floor? As you press the right leg back behind you, can you lengthen the chest? You have it. Great work, everyone. Take another breath in. Exhale, chair pose. Right foot comes beside the left. Sweep the arms up. Take another breath in. And then exhale, Tadasana pose. Take a pause here. Getting ready to repeat that on the second side. Take a breath in. Exhale, slow down the breath. On an inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. So grab onto the left forearm, reach over to the right. Inhale, come back through center, and then reach over to your left. Inhale, rise, touch the palms, maybe look up, and then separate the arms, bend the knees, sink the hips down, find Utkatasana, chair pose. Can you lengthen the spine a little bit more? Take another breath in. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Take your inhale, lift halfway, lengthen, find the length here. Exhale, fold, release. From here, left foot steps back behind you, left knee lowers down. Sweep the arms up, find low lunge. Another breath in here. And then exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches up, coming into your twist. Allow this to be nice and open. Feel the freedom in the body here now that you've been moving around a little bit. Sink the hips down, widen the chest. Take another breath in. Exhale, sweep the right hand down to the floor, lift the back knee up, slide the right foot back to meet the left, and then once again we'll flow. Option to skip it, down dog or vinyasa. Lowering halfway or all the way, up dog or cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps in between the hands, crescent lunge here. Squeeze the feet together, use the legs to rise all the way up. So right away, we're connecting to that right leg. Take another breath in. Exhale, flow halfway forward, chest forward, arms back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let's tap the back knee down to the ground. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, flow the arms behind you. Stay here, pause. Notice the right leg. We're gonna rise up into warrior three here. So hands towards the heart for more support. Start to pour all the weight into that right leg. Lift the left leg off the mat. Really pressing the back foot behind you. Lift the chest forward. And then exhale, rebend. Front knee, sweep the arms up. From here, we have that half twist. So draw the front ribs in, draw the hands towards the heart. And then we're gonna twist over to our right this time. So left elbow reaches towards the right knee, but we're not gonna land it, we're just twisting. Seeing if we can get the center of our chest in line with the thumbs. Twist a little further. Take another breath here. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale, windmill arms up and overhead, find reverse warrior. So bend the right foot, bend the right knee, sorry. Right toes are pointing forward, left toes face the long edge of our mat, left foot is all the way down. Breathe a little bit more space into that right side body. And then from here, straighten right leg, reach right fingertips forward, feel length through both sides of the waist, and then triangle pose, feeling free to stay up a little bit higher for this variation. We're almost there, just a little bit more standing. Can we press the feet down, feel the buoyancy in the upper body? And then inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down towards the ground. Plant the hands, sweep the right leg up and back, bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Take another breath in. Exhale, right foot steps in between the hands, rise up, warrior three. So take your time, pour the weight into that right foot, arms in that airplane shape, arms long behind you, chest forward, pressing into that imaginary wall. Can we broaden the chest just maybe even a millimeter more? And then exhale, chair pose. Left foot meets the right, rise all the way back up. And then come to standing Tadasana pose, hands through heart center, pause. Before we lower all the way down, we're just going to do one more little challenge with our twisting. So bring the big toes touching, heel slightly apart here. We're going to start off in chair pose, Uttanasana. So bend the knees, sink the hips down, arms reach up. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands towards the heart. And from here, we will twist. So let's hook our right elbow onto the outside of the left knee. We're sinking the hips down, bringing the chest forward, pressing the palms together to lengthen the chest. And then option to stay here, or if you want to play around with your balance here, pouring the weight into that left foot. Can you take the weight out of the right? Looking down at the floor helps with your balance here. And then maybe take the right foot back down behind you. Take a breath here in your revolved crescent. On an inhale, we're going to reverse our way out. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Release your twist, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, lift all the way back up. Exhale, palms touch, just that second side. Bend the knees, sink the hips down, find Uttanasana, chair pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, we twist. Left elbow hooks onto the outside of the right leg. Lengthen the chest forward and then hug the right shoulder onto the back body. Twist yourself a little bit further. Keep the hips sinking low. And then once again, maybe looking down at the floor, pouring the weight into that right foot. Can you lift the left foot off the floor? Maybe step it back into that crescent lunge. Take a few breaths in revolved crescent. Take a breath in. On an exhale, step forward, feet together. And then exhale, release. You've made it. Drop the head down. On an inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Last flow here, your choice. Knees or toes, lowering halfway or all the way. Leaning back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Notice the length of the spine, this entire length here. Take another breath in. Exhale, knees to floor. Then let's roll over to lie down onto the back body here. So we've made it. We get to start to cool down and rest now. So still thinking about our spine here, we're going to come into a moving bridge. So we're going to move our hips and our arms at the same time. Feel the heels connected down towards the ground and the shoulders, and everything in between those two areas feel supported by the floor right now. When you feel ready here, start to peel the back body off of the ground and then lift the arms up as well. Once you are out of your inhale here, use your exhale to lower everything back down onto the ground. Try that a few more times. Use your inhale, lift the hips up, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower back down. Moving like a wave here. A few more cycles. Inhale. Trying to make your breath last as long as your movement. Finishing our last round here. When you're ready, lower everything back down onto the ground. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a little sway side to side. And then from here, feet down. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And then take a moment to reach the right knee away from you. from here, we're going to turn this into a twist. So we're going to take our right foot, lower it all the way down to the floor. Arms can come out into a T or into cactus, or you can even take your left fingertips onto your right inner thigh here for a little bit of extra support. So this arm is supported by the floor, but we're just using this little bit of weight here to keep the right knee reaching up and forward. You can look away from the legs here, looking over the right shoulder, staying here to pause. Once again, noticing this sensation of twist, but a little bit more passive this time. Maybe a little bit of stretching sensation on the outer right hip. See if you can balance the sense of softening. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. Release that kickstand and then lift the legs back up through center. Uncross the leg, and then second side here. So cross the left ankle over right thigh, reach the left knee away from you, and then drop the left foot down towards the right side of your mat. So if you're experimenting with this twist and you feel like it just does not work for you, doesn't work for your spine, any other twist is perfectly fine here. These are always just options and suggestions. If you'd like that little bit of a kickstand using the right arm this time. Reconnecting to this entire length of the spine here. Seeing even if in this twisted shape you can bring in that sense of softness. Dropping into the floor, feeling yourself supported. Take your inhale, slowly rise back up through center. Uncross the legs here. Hug the knees in. Give that a gentle sway side to side. Hands on the kneecaps. Make little circles with the knees in space. Switching directions. And then from there, slowly extend the legs out, coming into your final pose. So legs extend long, arms by the sides. Take a full breath in. Exhale, give the body any other little wiggles that you need to fully release into your final pose, your Shavasana. Slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Bring gentle movement, fingers and toes. Circle wrists and ankles, move the head side to side. When you feel ready, lift the arms up and overhead and allowing the back body to lift off the floor. As you're ready, hug the knees into the chest and then roll over onto one side. Pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated pose. Crossing the ankles here, finishing off. On an inhale, lift the arms up. Join the palms together, hands towards the heart. Take a breath in that's just for you, thanking yourself for making it to your mat today. Thank you all for joining me for today's practice. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.